You know, I think a lot of what writers do, especially in nonfiction, is remain alert to the narrative structures that life hands them, and then try to remove all the distractions and emphasize them in a somewhat more crafted way. But you know, imagine my gratification as an artist to see that I met a character who, like me, grew up in a small town, like me, set out for the big world, like me, felt a little insecure and judged and ill-prepared, and responded with self-mythologizing, responded with all the strategies that writers use in both in building their own artistic selves and you know, and we met, you know, at that middle point. We met at that you know, early 30s point when your identity seems finally to start to gel, and we had this sort of dance with each other in which we both projected kind of imagined selves, his absolutely imagined, and mine kind of, you know, self-invented in the way that all writers might try, and had this incredibly complex encounter, which was mediated by our sense of art and culture. You know, we were both people who'd read a lot. We were both people who had attempted to form selves that were informed by our artistic and heroes and our tastes in literature and cinema, in his case. So it was as though I met the dark version of the writer, you know, the person who invents for other reasons than to, you know, give the world an object. And, you know, and we struggled. And, you know, that's a very complicated story, but it's also a very basic story, you know, of sort of nemesis and you know, splitting. And in the case of this book, what might appear to be a slightly complex narrative came naturally. It was sort of handed to me. And I think one of the great, you know, one of the great challenges is to leave nature alone when it hands you a gift, you know, and I tried to as much as possible here, you know.